Good morning, everyone. All right, let me get the link shared out here. I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, I'm just going to get this link shared out and yeah, if you guys end up wanting to share that live stream link, go right ahead. Good morning, everyone. Just getting set up here. Somebody's saying my audio is off. I don't think so. Perfect, thank you. All right. Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, I mean, if you're not a member, these New York session live streams, this is a trading session for me. So sometimes I just go live and I'm mostly focused on trading, looking for potential setups, but just going over what I'm looking for and just chill, hanging out. It's usually not like an educational live stream in the sense of I'm not going over a certain concept, and I'm usually not taking chart requests or anything like that. I'm just talking about what I'm looking at. So earlier this morning, in true lucky fashion, I was awake earlier this morning, pointing out that as we were ranging here, we had heavy bearish absorption. This is before this big move down came. I said Bitcoin with pretty heavy bearish absorption locally. Quite likely we see lower towards the New York Open. And I also was looking at that as BNB was pumping. So I shorted BNB up at the highs there. Just I was taking a swing failure short. So those positions are playing out okay. Let me go back to... So this was here. This is instructive. And you'll notice, same reason I took a short up here, because there was heavy bearish absorption on this move up. And so we're arranging. We had bullish absorption locally on this on these first few moves down, but on this move up, this bearish absorption became very dramatic, and we were actually in a really nice little descending channel here, almost perfectly. I'm going to remove this just to point it out. I'll take off the extension even so it's a little more clear. So you can see here. Let's just. I think everything was getting perfect touches, so I may as well. We can see as price came back up into this descending channel with the big bearish absorption, we get the wick off the channel. So what am I looking for into the New York Open, which is, over the next 20 minutes or so? Usually I like to wait. I'd like to wait another 20 minutes before I consider taking a position. But we kind of have two ideas. One is we just hold up, we consolidate here, we form bullish absorption locally, and we can maybe carry on in this range, or we lose this level and there's really no structure here. So the idea of just coming down and grabbing this liquidity is reasonable, I think. You know, it's not uncommon to have a pump, and then if price rejects, for that whole pump just to be retraced, because it doesn't build any structure. Now there's levels, there's intermediary levels that need to be watched, like our point of control. There's a high volume area here. But what I'll point out is funding is quite high. There's ideas here, especially with the heavy bearish absorption locally on every consolidation, that we just come and quickly sweep this liquidity. But the overall context of this consolidation between this low at, you know, around 20,000 to this range is bullish in order flow anyways. We can take a look at this. This is the one challenge that lots of people will find with order flow is, you know, you certainly can zoom out for a broader context, which is clear bullish absorption, which I've been pointing out for a while, right? That's why I've been interested in longs on retracements at the lows. So we have very clear heavy selling pressure. This is heavy selling pressure that is being absorbed, but price isn't breaking down. So that lends the probabilities, puts the odds towards a move up. But this is the important thing to understand. This is still a range, and this is higher time frame. So even though you can be creating higher time frame bullish absorption, you still need to have the context of the time frame that you're looking at, which is that could take another week to play out. It could take a month to play out. It could play out tomorrow. But where you can kind of get more refined ideas is things like this, where you have this really dramatic bearish absorptions. You see all this aggressive buying pressure coming in. And what this CVD, this is cumulative volume delta. So it's the delta between buying and selling, aggressive buying and selling. So this is telling you there's way more aggressive buying here than selling. Then why isn't price moving up? So that's what you have to ask yourself, the divergence between the aggressive buying or the aggressive selling and price. And this tells you, this is to me better than any other indicator because it's actual orders in the market. So this tells you there are people that have placed and put in aggressive market buying. And there are people sitting here with limit orders, big traders absorbing all of that buying pressure to hold price down. So there's no questions about that. It's a fact. Now, whether or not it plays out, like it did up here too, right? I guess you guys wouldn't know this if you're not members, but looking at this bearish absorption here on this push up, you know, being aware of that is, hey, there's a fact here. There is aggressive buying pressure coming in. And we even have this little local bearish divergence here between these two highs. Kind of hard to see, but it's there. There's aggressive buying pressure coming in here. That is a fact. Those orders are in the market. And it is a fact that big traders are absorbing that buying pressure. So, you know, what tends to happen when the bigger trader, the big fish, is gobbling up all the small fish's orders in the opposite direction, they tend to push price the opposite way. No, this is not TradingView. This is coinalyze.net. There's tons of tools with CVD data. But this one's great. It's free. You'll notice me sometimes go on to another program that's called ExoCharts, but I think this is perfect for most people. Sorry, just grabbing something. So we can see here, so we're aware of the higher time frame bullish absorption. This is probably the most local example of absorption we can consider, which is here and here. There is heavy selling pressure coming in on these last few 5-minute candles. CVD is making a lower low. Price is making a higher low. There's a divergence between the selling pressure and price. But this is very low time frame. But it's still worth considering as we're coming to the New York Open and we just wiped out, 72 million. Well, we ran 72 million volume in a 5-minute candle on this move down. So there's certainly a case to be made for just holding this low. At least even getting a scalp long idea there. The name of the website is, someone left it in the chat, Coinalyze. All those longs reopening. I know people have lots of questions like how to set it up, how to use it, how it works, what are the settings. This isn't an educational live stream in that sense, right? This is an important trading session for me, so I'm mostly focused on that. I have a lot of content where I teach all of this stuff, and that's one of the things, like even if you're a member, obviously there's members in here, there's non-members, and this is typically a members live stream. But if you're a member that's just joined, you really need to go through the educational content, right? So you understand the ideas that are being talked about. And here, this is just another way of looking. It's just, this is more complicated, obviously, looking, but this is just looking at the divergences as well. These are CVD divergences. So we can see the bullish absorption coming in here locally, which is worth noting as we come into the New York Open. I'm interested in long setups here. If no trade or longs for me, seeing if maybe we get another move down. I will say that this was a target for longs up here. So I had shorts from higher, I had shorts from here, I took profit, I have shorts from here, I took added a little bit to my shorts here. But this has always been a target for longs, and the fact that we're tapping in a New York Open is interesting. I can just quickly go to the Discord here. Give a lot of updates. So I said, keeping an eye on some of these more local levels for longs, everyone, as we are already threatening major bullish divergences in CVD on this move down. So I was pointing out this region here, right? This is when we were getting the first move down. And I'll just pop back over to the chart really quick. That level I was pointing out, get rid of this channel that I was showing as an example, was here, right? And the reason is, yes, I've pointed out the bearish absorption, but we have major bullish absorption on a high time frame. And I trade low time frame price action and high time frame. So I'm aware of, I can have a bullish bias for this range as a whole, but I'm not buying the top. I'm still going to look for shorts if there's signs of weakness locally. And I can long retracements, short weakness locally, both scalps, swings, etc., and look for longs at support. I try not to just have one directional bias that I trade, because I can be I can have a high time frame bullish perspective, but understand we're still in a range. There can still be signs of weakness, and I can still find shorts and longs in this market. So we have about 8 minutes until the New York Open. You know, what would be my absolute perfect setup here? And not perfect because the trade will work, because I have no control over that. Just perfect because it's clean invalidation, the levels are clean. Is if in the New York Open we come down, we wick into this value area high, we reclaim this low, and I could long it with a stop there. And I could get stopped out, absolutely. In fact, it's somewhat likely, but there's a technical reason to have my stop here. And it's just nice, clean invalidation. And, now I always use risk management because this can just happen. I've actually been on a pretty wild win streak. I did get stopped out of small long here. So I said here that I'm going to long here, a small long, and then this is the level of interest I had too, if we could grab this liquidity. So I took a small long and then I went full long here. But because I had a bullish context coming into this area on the chart, but you don't really know if you're going to get that liquidity grab move or not. But if you get it, certainly willing to trade it. Certainly not scared of a move down like that. Waiting for that as an opportunity. And that was a level I had shared. Again, key fib. When we were consolidating here, I was just, you're aware, if you can get that move down to grab the liquidity under these local lows, that could be a really nice long. And that's how I ended up longing the bottom there. But anyways, just being patient, waiting for the New York Open. Not really seeing any reason to be firing off longs here. I'd rather carry my shorts. And what I'll probably do personally is I'll have my shorts running. I'll open my longs as a separate setup if I get a nice setup. And if I start seeing real signs of strength, I'll start taking profits on my shorts. I don't need to close the top. Sorry, the bottom on my shorts. And, maybe we get a little fake out here. My longs get stopped out, and then my shorts just carry on to the next levels. Wait, where's my... Is that all I got going on there? So I'm never risking more than 1 to 2% of my portfolio per position. That means if let's say I have a $10,000 portfolio or account, and my stop loss is 1% away, that means I can take a $10,000 position. If I get stopped out, I lose 1%. If it's 0.5% away, I can take a $20,000 position. I get stopped out, it's 1%. All right. So now I gotta be prepared to execute, potentially, a trade. As we come into this New York Open. $2.5 million. I want to see, now we might not get it. So we have the technical swing failure of this local low, but I don't want to long yet, and that might cost me because I want to see the New York Open next 4 minutes. I wouldn't mind seeing this value area high tapped. But again, that could cost me, certainly. This is generally the setup I'm looking for, which is that quick move down into the New York Open to sweep this low. But I wouldn't mind the value area high being tapped. And I wouldn't mind this move actually happening in the next 30-minute candle open. But I don't have to long the exact bottom either. It can just cost me a bit of an entry. Your invalidation just gets a little further away. If we could just see that one more move down, that'd be nice. And again, if I take a long, there's no part of me that thinks, oh, I'm not going to get stopped out of this. This is such a great trade. I really don't care one way or the other if I get stopped out. Because the broader context for me is I'm not looking at this as just one trade, one long. I have tons of shorts running. And right when you're only exposed to shorts, especially in crypto when everything's correlated, or only exposed to longs, for me, I'm really interested in, obviously looking to take profits on shorts, but looking for some longs to sort of balance out my positions a little bit. I don't just want shorts running. Maybe I get a long and a nice TP1 or something, and then I have my longs, my shorts, both in profit. But it's not really the end of the world for me if price just breaks down and stops me out because my shorts just carry on. I still like to be precise. All right, let's see. So kind of the most annoying thing here would be if price just pumps straight up in the New York Open. And I don't really like to chase price. But I'm just looking at the volume here. 13 million. 2.8 million negative delta, positive delta. Yeah, I'm not so convinced that this is like a great bottom wick here. But of course, once you have the New York Open candle, it gets a lot more likely that your pivot low is in. You can kind of that first 5 minutes of the candle. So is it maybe worth considering small long positions here? It's not crazy. Might take a small long and then look to scale in if we get that position and cut if we don't. But I might just wait to see, if we just can start coming down here, then I'll wait. But I can be ready to take a small position. Yeah, so I'll take a small long with the idea of adding if we get a swing failure and cutting if we just break down. But one thing is I can cut, and if we reclaim, then I can just reopen. But now I have some exposure, aware of the local swing failure here into the New York Open. And as I pointed out, yes, we had major bearish absorption here before this move down, but we do have high time frame bullish absorption. I know this is probably hard for you guys to see, which is why I'm interested in longs. I'd also be taking some profits on shorts here. But I'm not really comfortable just having, oh, I just deleted an important line. I'll just go in here to delete these. I'm not really comfortable just having shorts here into this New York Open on Bitcoin. I mean, I have longs from lower, but those are older positions. I know it might seem crazy to you guys that I'm that picky about you know, 0.1% difference in price and tapping this low 2 minutes later, but I am. It's okay. Still have a decent idea here for a long. I might just scroll through the chat here and then maybe wrap up this live stream, and I'll answer some questions, and we'll maybe watch the big start of this move here. You know, I do want to consider taking some profits off my BNB short. It's not that price has traveled very far, but I was able to run this with such a tight stop. It's already like a 4R, and we are getting a bounce off the VWAP here. Oh, I should have oops. Oh, I'll show you the chart really quick. I didn't realize I wasn't on it. But I'm just saying that, you know, price hasn't traveled very far, but I ran this with such a tight stop that it's not unreasonable to look at taking profits here. All right. Yeah, of course, the entry here would have been just way more beautiful. But still somewhat happy with my entry. And not because we can't just break down, but the setup's clean, it's clear, and I can go on with the rest of my day. Okay, so let me just answer a couple quick questions. Do you ever use limit orders? I typically use market orders. The general premise is, for a limit order to fill, the market has to be moving against you by definition, because it has to move into your fill. With the market order, you can wait for the reaction and enter as the market is reacting and moving back into the direction of your trade. I like reading reactions. I like looking at order flows, making decisions. That's not for everyone, but I'm perfectly happy to do that. But I do occasionally use, I'm starting to use small limit orders, especially on alts, where I have like high time frame ideas of like a small order, this like levels I've marked out on my charts to take a small position. Because a lot of times key levels get hit at the same time with alts and it's hard to trade it all. I've noticed that having a small order with a bit of a wider stop can work well. Someone's asking, where is my long entry? My long entry is here, right around here. I marketed in essentially on this swing failure reclaim, right? Like waiting for this reclaim, but I was willing to long this swing failure of this wick, but I didn't quite get the level that I wanted. So the timing was a little off, so I ended up with a bit of a higher entry. But obviously I'm perfectly fine if I get stopped out. It's not the end of the world. Now, I do want to point this out. It doesn't matter where I entered. Like sometimes people will ask me that, like, for example, somebody might ask me, are you short right now? They might say, are you in a short position? And if I say yes, they might take that to mean I should get short. But I'm in a short position from higher, right? I'm not shorting this, I'm longing this. And, people get kind of frustrated because one day you could say, I'm short, there's bearish divergences here. Then you're taking profits on your shorts and you take it long and price pumps and you say, oh, look at this great long setup. And they'll say, I thought you were short. Yeah, up here yesterday. I spend 20 hours a day on the charts. I'm taking positions. And I think people want it's unfortunate that the market is so volatile for most people, and so quote unquote unpredictable, because people just want a clear answer. They want, is price going up or down? But you gotta look at the market every day and make conscious decisions. Bullish here. I was even bullish on this potential breakout, but I said, hey, you know what? If we lose this high, I'm willing to short. I took shorts up here, even though I have targets around 26,000, because those could come a month from now. And I'm watching price action every day to see if there are nice setups. But anyways, so Vince Gregory is saying, how do you know the reclaim will stick? I don't. It's irrelevant. Like I take shorts and longs all the time that get stopped out. Risk is small, they get stopped out. I also take them all the time where I catch the exact wick high and my invalidation is nothing. Now, somebody could say, when you shorted BNB here, how did you know that? Because I'm shorting it here. My short is literally this wick. If we go to the 1 minute chart, this is my short. Somebody could say, how do you know price will reject? I have no idea. I'm shorting a technical setup. I'm longing a technical setup. I'm using risk management to protect me if I'm wrong. But I'm usually pretty good at finding high probability setups, especially considering the risk reward. And what can get confusing, although, a couple losing trades dispels this idea, is if I win, especially in the members group, if I win 10 trades in a row, or I've literally won 25 trades in a row, big trades, people start thinking I actually know what's going to happen, but I actually just have a long list of high probability factors that put the odds in my favor so dramatically that I can go on really long win streaks. And it can start to seem like I know if price will bounce or not, and I just don't. But the reason I did this live stream public is because pretty much my whole day, I'm taking my weekend early. I'm going on a little weekend trip, so won't be very active on Twitter or anywhere. I don't really trade the weekends that much anyways, but I thought it'd be fun to do this as a public live stream and leave you guys to your day. So anyways, obviously the risk reward on this trade's already nice. Where would I consider taking some profits on this position? Well, any signs of weakness in order flow, I know that's not something that everybody can read, but I'm not saying it's not my problem in the sense of I don't care, which is why I try to teach this stuff, but it's not my problem in the sense of I can't do anything about that. But anyways, if there's any signs of, I teach it, but it's up to you to learn it. If there's any signs of weakness, and obviously if we take the range highs and reject, and it looks like a clean rejection, I'm willing to take profits off my longs. So, anyways, we'll see. I like this move generally, and there's a very decent chance, considering the velocity of the move, that this generates a decent move, because there's actually bullish absorption between these lows, bullish absorption between these lows. So we are developing major high time frame bullish absorption, but that's been in play for a while, and we've still seen moves down. So whether or not this is just a continuation of another lower high of this move, higher low rather, we'll see. But I've been trading this quite accurately on Bitcoin. Nice longs, nice shorts, multiple shorts out of here. I did take a long here off this swing failure, but then took a short as I noticed this bearish absorption forming. So anyways, here we are. Coming into the weekend, we'll see how price action plays out. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday and your weekend.